Hi everybody, welcome back to our weekly short videos on Fulbright. Today we're going to be talking about the language requirement. I previously mentioned it briefly, but we're just going to go more in depth as to, reading the requirement and other resources there's out there, how to fulfill it. So let me just go ahead and share my screen. So at this point, you guys should probably be very familiar with the Fulbright website, specifically with this map that breaks down what programs, which countries offer what programs. So just kind of to go talk about it a little bit about this language requirement, I'm going to use South Korea as an example. So we can see here that South Korea offers a number of awards, some open study research awards, a master's degree, and 2 types of ETAs, one to teach English at an elementary level and one to teach English at a secondary level. So first off, we're going to look at what their language requirements are for an open study research award. So for their foreign language proficiency, seems like they're asking for an intermediate level once you come in. So that kind of makes sense because you want to be able to talk and develop your project in Korean. But if we go back over here and we look at their ETAs, and again, each country is different, so this is just an example. But I kind of stumbled upon this and I thought it was really cool because if you wanted to apply for an ETA to teach English in South Korea, their proficiency level is basically none, and part of their orientation, if you get accepted into this program, is that they have an 100-hour intensive Korean language component. So basically, they take it upon themselves to teach you Korean or basic Korean. So not every country offers this, but I think this is really interesting. But again, maybe you don't want to go and teach English. Maybe you want to do an open study research award, and you need to be at an intermediate level. Yes, an intermediate level. So how do you do that? Like, what kind of resources are out there for you to maybe not only learn Korean, but any other language? So we'll talk about that later. Another thing about this language proficiency, foreign language proficiency, is that they're going to ask for a foreign language evaluation. So this is basically when you're doing your application, they're going to ask you to send a form to a foreign language professor of yours or somebody that knows that you are at an intermediate level, and they're going to have to fill out a form. And this is kind of what the form looks like. So they'll fill that out. They'll kind of say where you're at in like speaking, reading, writing, listening, and so on. And they'll give this evaluation to the Fulbright committee. Another thing to keep in mind is that Fulbright also offers what they call a critical language enhancement award. So certain countries, last year, I think it was China, had a Mandarin critical language award that you could apply in addition to your Fulbright. So if you know that you don't know Mandarin, and that's one of the languages offered through this critical language enhancement award, you could apply for this award and take an intensive course with them. This year so far for this cycle, they haven't posted the eligible language and countries yet. So this is a thing to keep an eye on because it's really helpful as well. So we're going to be talking a little bit about kind of outside resources. I found this great list here from Open Culture. Just to be, the website is openculture.com/free language lessons. And they list all sorts of free online resources for you, from ancient Greek to Czech, Dutch, Estonian, Finnish, just because the list goes on and on and on. So I would recommend that you check this out. We're just talking about Korean. Here's a list of resources to learn Korean online that are available for free. Another great place you can find is if you have a Brooklyn Library card, you could log in and use this database called Mango Languages. The New York Public Library also offers Mango. So there's that. Also, New York in general has a ton of available resources. This is for the Cervantes Center to learn Spanish. They offer exams, they offer Spanish classes, which I think might be canceled right now, but keep an eye open on that. And also this is Idlewood Books, which is a bookstore for traveling, but also offer classes in many languages: Spanish, French, Portuguese, Italian, and German. So I think that is all that I have for you today. If you have any questions, enjoy the live Q&A with Sam. See you next week.